Hello everyone, welcome back here, Sideline Sato YouTube channel. And today's game from Liverpool, just a clear picture of this whole season. You win against United last week 7-0, and then you lose away to Brentford. I mean, it should come as no surprise to anybody. If you like the video, please like, comment, subscribe, share, do what you will. Thank you for watching. I'll probably have a couple more videos out before I'm back from vacation, just kind of talking about some sports stuff. Liverpool has absolutely abysmal form away from home this season. I'll pull up the stat on the screen, and it doesn't look good. You look at that away form record, and Liverpool is right in the middle of the table, bottom middle really, and don't get many results. Don't get too many points away from home. And it doesn't matter if you're bottom of the table Bournemouth or Brentford or Brighton. Liverpool's proven that they will give you the way in if you're the home team, and doesn't really bode well for the future. You could say maybe this is the start of the top four race kind of slipping out of Liverpool's hands, but maybe it isn't. This has been a really weird season. For me, I'm definitely a lot less optimistic about top four after today's performance, especially with the 4 games coming up, specifically the 3 league games. You have Real Madrid away this upcoming week in the Champions League, where more than likely Liverpool will get buried by Madrid at the Bernabeu. You have then it's Man City away from home at the Etihad, Chelsea away from home at Stamford Bridge, and then you have Arsenal at Anfield. Arsenal at Anfield is the most likely game we win just because it's at home, but 3 games away after this Bournemouth game too. It's a really rough kind of 4-game away stretch. Bournemouth to City to Chelsea and Real Madrid in between City and Bournemouth, but today's game was just prime 2022-2023 Liverpool. Not a lot of legs. I thought we actually looked good at the start towards the first half. Maybe the first 20 minutes or so before the goal. But also there was just a lot of stuff that was lacking. We got a lot of corners those first 15 minutes or so, but didn't really convert them, and we paid because we really just had not too many ideas. I think Jota looked good when he came on, but also led to a whole lot of nothing. Elliott was fine, but not he couldn't make an impact either. No one could really make an impact. Then obviously you have the penalty. Salah's first missed penalty for Liverpool since December 2021. So that's pretty unfortunate, but I feel like you would have some kind of reservations about the penalty and the miss if you were, if you were talking about Mo Salah getting a penalty save, or it just hitting the post and going wide, or something freakish happening, because he's that good at taking penalties. But no, he had the perfect opportunity to score. I thought it was a handball. If you didn't agree, feel free to voice your concerns in the comments. But I thought it was a handball from the Jota header onto the hand of, I think it was Meckham. It might have been Adam Smith though, not entirely sure. But yeah, Liverpool just kind of fell into a rut after that missed penalty, and they didn't really recover. Some questionable subs also from Klopp, but ultimately this season's right at that point where I kind of just want it to be over with. Have wanted it to be over with for a while now, but ultimately you can't really do much besides just wait and see what the future results hold, because you think Liverpool's back and then they aren't, and then vice versa. You think Liverpool's done, and then they score 7 against Manchester United. So this whole season has been just really a mess for Liverpool. Um, we'll see what happens in the coming weeks. Everyone was like, "Oh, that United win, it's do or die for Liverpool." Well, they get the win, and then they mess up the implied easy part of beating Bournemouth. And I mean, we had a chance to at least get a point with the penalty for Mo. Um, we didn't, and we suffered as a result. I mean, that's just the way that things are at Liverpool. Takeaways from today's game, still kind of like lacking invention and ideation going forward. Still have a lot of kind of issues with the midfield and the ability to win battles. The defensive line, I mean, I feel like this specific defensive line that was out there today, Konate, Verge, Trent, Robbo, I think that could be a really good one. But the thing is, Konate is coming back from injury relatively. He's had some reoccurring issues this season, but he's kind of getting back to form and health. Trent, he was in the middle, not really paying attention to Billing. I mean, it wasn't his man, but and I don't mean to rag on Trent, but I think that at times Trent kind of, maybe it's an arrogance to the team in the way that we defend against kind of certain opponents. Obviously, we have the high line, and that wears out our wingbacks, and it also kind of puts us in a position where our center backs are kind of isolated and can get beat, but sometimes Trent just ball watches, and I wish he was a little more proactive in defending. But yeah, I feel like today's game, nothing really just worked, and I don't know if you could really put too much blame on anyone. We had Milner come on. That's kind of the state of affairs for Liverpool. When you're down 1-0 away, you bring on 37-year-old James Milner. I love Milner, class professional, 300-plus games for Liverpool. Premier League, great. But man, it really does hurt when he's like the only option. He's not like the only experienced option or the only like young option. But in our midfield, for what we need, the profile player. I mean, no disrespect to Carvalho either. I mean, he came on for a little bit later in the game, but for Carvalho, it's like, he's a 10. He's a cam. He's gonna want to go forward, and we didn't need that, and like we needed it to some extent in today's game. But we just need more like kind of robustness in our midfield, more of a kind of like 6 or an 8 to play alongside the likes of Carvalho, Jota, Salah. Feed in those balls and just kind of like control the pace of the game, like Thiago. But Thiago, he's also old. He's been relatively injury prone this season too, and you can't really do much when the likes of Thiago, Keita, Ox. They can't really play to the best of their abilities because of all these injuries, and then you're kind of left a little destitute in midfield. I mean, we started by Čedić, Elliott, and Fabinho, and while I like the kind of idea of that, it's a little like lopsided. By Čedić, I think he's gonna be a phenomenal midfielder for us, but he's still young. He still has a mistake in him here and there. Still gives away the ball, misplaces a pass every now and then. But he's got the type of energy we need. Fabinho, he's been better this season. Like, not better this season, but he's been better in the last couple of weeks than he has all season. But it still is not like the Fabinho of old for me. And then, I mean, Elliott, I like Elliott, but like, is Elliott a 10? Is he a 6? Is he an 8? Is he a winger? It's tough. He kind of like occupies a similar space to Salah, and sometimes if he has like a player next to him who could kind of scurry up most of the defensive responsibilities, hold it down, then he could work. But even then, it's not guaranteed. He's still young, still learning. He's not super physical either, so it just kind of like puts us in a position where, with the likes of Elliott, he kind of like we don't play with an attacking mid. We play with centermen, right? So it just kind of like puts us in a spot where we can't really perform too well. But all in all, really, really black game from Liverpool. Just lifeless, boring, and I wasn't even like I was like, obviously I would have preferred we got the win, but we lost, and I was like, all right, like what else should I have expected, really? But anyways, plane going overhead, I think. But anyways, if you like the video, please once again share it, do what you will. I'm Sideline Sato. Thanks for watching.